The easiest way to preserve vegetables from our garden is, of course, to freeze them. But not all of the vegetables can be frozen. Some things taste great when they are pickled or fermented. And that's what we will talk about today. I'll share a few of my recipes. When the weather turns super hot really fast and you forget about thinning out your cabbage, this is what happens. My Napa cabbage remained in a baby size and then suddenly bloomed, so it never developed this head size. But I can still make kimchi out of it. First thing you want to do is to soak your Napa cabbage, either a mature size as you see on the left, or a baby leaves, in really salted water. As you can see, I chopped my Napa cabbage into pieces. I used leaves and also stems for some crunchiness. You have to let this cabbage sit for 5-6 hours, then drain it and transfer it into a big bowl, and then add all your flavorings. So I've used green onion, regular French breakfast radish. Traditionally, daikon radish is used, but since I didn't have it, I added regular radish plus carrots. I have also used a couple of spoons of Korean fermented chili paste called gochujang. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Also grated garlic and grated ginger. And of course some soy sauce. So I added everything together, plus a little bit of soy sauce, and I'll mix it good. But the chili paste can stain the fingers, so I decided to use a glove. The picture on the left, you can see me making kimchi last year. It was regular Napa cabbage from the grocery store. I love making kimchi at home because I can put whatever I want in there. I can also control the level of spiciness. So you have to mix it really good, kind of massage it, all the flavors into the cabbage. And now the hardest part. You have to wait. You have to fill up your jars with homemade kimchi and let it sit room temperature for a couple of days to ferment. And I think that's the hardest part. Last year I let my kimchi ferment for about 3 days. Some people like it more tangy, but you have to find your sweet spot. Another vegetable that got out of control in my garden and needed some attention as soon as possible was these radishes. Aren't they cute? These are white globe radishes from Burpees, and I planted them, as you can see, together with my spring pansies. And as you can see, they were growing here happily, enjoying the company of flowers. But it's definitely time to pull them out. So let's do it. So I have used my English breakfast radishes in the kimchi recipe, and with these ones I decided to pickle them. These are slightly more spicy, I would say, than regular radishes. So if you don't like the spice, then this recipe may be perfect for you, because pickling this root completely changes its flavor. The radishes lose their bitter side and take that perfect sweet, salty, sour pickled flavor. So I'm going to slice my radishes as thin as I can, put them in a mason jar, and I like to use a 1-to-1 ratio of water versus vinegar. plus a pinch of salt and a pinch of sugar. As you can see, I'm not following any recipes. I'm not measuring anything in my kitchen. I'm just winging it and do it according to my taste. And I think that's the best way to do it. Then you know you're gonna like it. Then you close your pickled radishes and keep them at room temperature for a few hours and then put them in the fridge. You can definitely eat them the same day or let them get more tangy. So here they are, joining the kimchi. Now let's go back to the garden and see what else can be done. These wasabi greens also have overgrown this little pot, so I've decided to use them to make a little side dish for our dinner tonight. If you like eating sushi with a wasabi paste, then this green vegetable is definitely for you. When you taste it, right away it doesn't taste like anything, but then the aftertaste is exact like the wasabi root paste. So I love it a lot. And of course I've been using this vegetable in salads and just snacking on it, but I just have so much that I won't be able to finish it all without actually doing something to it. Same with this mizuna over here. It got super hot, so it started to bolt. You can see a tiny little yellow flowers, and it's kind of sad. It has such a short lifespan, but it's okay. I'll harvest it and do something yummy with it. So I cut some mizuna, wasabi greens, and also my broccoli leaves. Remember my video about stuffed broccoli leaves, like kind of stuffed cabbage? If you haven't seen it yet, you can click on the link above. But today I'll try to do something else with them. But let's start with this mizuna, which is a purple mizuna if you want to look up for the seeds, and wasabi greens. These are also called wasabi mustard greens or wasabi arugula. So I'll be doing two different recipes, one with mizuna and one with wasabi greens. And in wasabi greens you have to take the middle part, the stem, out because it's a little bit tough. Only the leaves are yummy and soft. Mizuna stems don't have to be removed, you can just chop them all. I like the flavor of mizuna, so I won't be using any other spices except salt. So just generously salt your mizuna leaves and massage it really well, and that's it. So simple. And with wasabi greens, I'm going to add some sugar, soy sauce, rice vinegar, and massage it really well. Then you put your condiments in jars and you have to squish it really well and make sure all of the juices come up and cover the vegetables. So this is my mizuna, which has been only salted, and this is wasabi greens that I have salted with soy sauce. And these are my broccoli leaves that I have washed and cut in little pieces I removed all of the stems and only used soft parts. I'm going to make it like a sauerkraut. So basically salt it really well and massage it, and then stuff it inside the jar and let it ferment at room temperature the same way as you would do a sauerkraut. And broccoli leaves really do taste like a traditional white cabbage, so I think this will be a great substitute. Anytime you're making something fermented, you have to press it into a jar really tight. Make sure all of the juices come up and cover the vegetable so the mold won't grow. You have to use some sort of a weight. I have a glass pebbles over here on top of my jars. As you can see, when you press it, the juices come up. So my fermented mizuna, kimchi and broccoli kraut have to sit at room temperatures for a couple of days. And my pickled radishes and pickled wasabi greens have to go to the fridge. And when you pickle something and use vinegar, you have to use plastic lids. So here they are, my 5 unique recipes from the garden.